Hello, welcome to day 2 at the Packet Hacking Village at DefCon 28 Safe Mode. We hope that you thoroughly enjoyed our first day, and we want to thank you for joining us and for supporting us for all these years. Before we start, we want to thank AWS for sponsoring this year's Packet Hacking Village. Over the years, the Packet Hacking Village has attracted numerous security practitioners, researchers, and volunteers from all over the world. It's truly that the Packet Hacking Village has an international flavor. Our next talk comes from Turkey. It is with great pleasure to welcome and introduce you to Ozkan Mustafa Akkus and his talk, The Vulnerability That Gmail Overlooked and Enabled Threat Hunting. Take it away, Ozkan.
Hello, I wish healthy days to everyone. I am Mustafa Akkus. Today I'm going to talk about the threats that the Smtp protocol can pose and show you how a large mail providers such as Gmail overlooked and enabling threat hunting. It makes me sad not to be in Vegas right now, but health is more important than anything, so please be careful and don't go out without a mask. Um, First of all, I want to talk about myself. I'm a vulnerability researcher and penetration tester in Turkey. While studying sports science and technologies, I decided to leave the university and step into the world of cybersecurity. My purpose is to provide added value to world of cybersecurity through the training I had given and the research I had conducted. I published security vulnerabilities on international platforms that I had discovered. I entered my exploit to CVE and EDP databases. You can also access my previous works on my personal blog, pentest.com.tr. I would like to mention presentation schedule. First, we will focus on SMTP protocol structure and threads. We're gonna analyze by sending training emails inspired by SMTP, and then we're gonna review and result and scheme of the research. Finally, I'm gonna share an exclusive tool as a bonus video. And I don't have the DefCon 28 badge today. Because of that, I am using DefCon 26 and 27 badges. I miss it using them very much. So let's start. Let's look at what SMTP is. Also, let's take a look at the structure of this protocol and examine the logic of operation. As everyone knows, SMTP is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. As mentioned in the name, it's a very simple protocol. We know that the simple structure can always pose a danger. So, new solution and models contribute to the strengthening of the simple structure. Different solutions were used for many security problems in SMTP. We're gonna touch this issue again later. SMTP published as IPC 788 by Postel in November 1981. This protocol structure was finalized as IPC 821, IPC 2821, and IPC 5321. IPC 5321 is the last standard published in 2008. Today, there are famous structures that our mail transfer agent is the use of the SMTP protocol, such as Gmail, Postfix, Microsoft Exchange Server, Yandex, Mail.ru, Yahoo, and so on. You can examine the history and final version of the SMTP protocol in detail through the link below. According to Internet Engineering Task Force, the simple structure of the SMTP protocol can be shown as follows. Let's follow a path from the simple structure to complex structure. Below we can see the structure that is not separated into its components, so SMTP clients communicate via the internet. Let's continue the review by adding protocol components. If we move from general to detail, it will be more memorable. In the diagram below, you can see that we have divided the SMTP client and the SMTP server into two components, such as mail transfer agent and user agent. The user agent creates the envelope, then puts the message in the envelope. So it prepares the message. The mail transfer agent transfers his prepared mail across the internet. This is done in the same way on the parties receiving the mail and delivering the mail. At this time, the SMTP protocol was in a very simple state. Spring made threads with the simple structure. Therefore, different structures are included to strengthen the SMTP protocol. For example, extended SMTP has been released. Extended SMTP defines a framework for extending the SMTP service by defining a means whereby a server SMTP can inform a client SMTP as to the server extension it supports. So, control has been added to DNS site, which is used especially for email transfer, authentication to SMTP server, domain case identification mail, domain-based message authentication, reporting and conformance, and sender policy framework are the controls provided on the DNS side. While many standards have been published to strengthen the SMTP protocol, the most important of these is the sender policy framework. This will be the point we will focus on today. At this point, we will review the Internet Engineering Task Force's documents again. According to Internet Engineering Task Force, IFC 7108 is version 1 for Sender Policy Framework for authorizing use of domains in email. You can get detailed information from the link below. There's a sentence like this in the abstract description. This sentence is exactly like this. Email on the internet can be forgotten in a number of ways. In particular, existing protocols place no restriction on what a sending host can use as the mail from of a message or the domain given on the SMTP hello comments. This part is very important. Existing protocols place no restriction on what a sending host can use as the mail from of a message or the domain. This means that the SMTP protocol is a very primitive structure. It's ironic that the millions of the servers are not using mail from control while using this protocol. Our main subject today is how famous mail transfer agent services can pose a threat even though they use SPF. In fact, today I was gonna just share a situation related to Gmail, but it was March 3 when I applied for Package Hacking Village. So I continued my research and performed a test on other famous email providers. Today we will examine also other famous mail providers, not only the Gmail. This will be Gmail, Yandex.Mail, Mail.ru, Outlook, Hotmail, Yahoo, Zoho Mail, Hi.com, and HubSpot. Because of that, it will be more correct to change the presentation title as the vulnerability that famous email providers overlooked and enabling threat hunting. Let's send emails that can pose threats and analyze the situation later. I wrote an exploit to send these training emails. I'm so sorry to say that, but I'm not gonna share the details of exploit because it's so dangerous. However, I'm gonna show you with live examples. I'm gonna use an SMTP server as a gateway by authentication with user information. This server will be an SMTP server without open relay. In addition, this server must be a trusted server that has been previously approved by famous email providers and has no problem with mail delivery. The server I use an exploit for this process will be my university's mail server. The servers of large companies, and university are in constant communication with famous email providers, so we can bypass most of the DNS-based controls. If you try to do this by creating a new server, you're gonna definitely fail. There's also another detail in the exploit I wrote about that, but I am not gonna share these details as I said before. We're gonna conduct internal and external test on famous mail providers. Internal test, we will try to send arbitrary mail via mail providers on domain name, for example, Gmail to Gmail. In external test, we will try to send arbitrary mail using the domain name wallofship.com. Let's analyze these training emails by sending them. I created a special account on all of the famous email providers. We're gonna perform internal and external tests throughout these accounts. We're gonna do tests on Gmail, Yandex.Mail, Mail.ru, Outlook, and Yahoo Mail, and Zoho Mail, and Hey.com, and HubSpot. My Gmail account was forwarded to HubSpot. It's also forwarded to Hey.com too. Therefore, we're gonna also test Hey.com and HubSpot with email we sent to Gmail. In internal tests, we will try to send arbitrary mail via mail provider on domain name, and then we're gonna analyze the results. We're gonna send the mail from defcon@gmail.com to defcon@gmail.com first. Let's start with Gmail. I'm gonna sending a little bit past. Yeah, we need to wait a little. And mail has been sent successfully. As you can see, the mail dropped on the inbox. However, there's a big warning that this mail could not be verified, that it came from defcon@gmail.com. But when we look at the Hey.com, there is no warning here. This is a very dangerous situation. Similarly, when we check the HubSpot, we see that the mail is successfully forwarded and does not contain any warning too. And I'm gonna explain the source of this vulnerability to you later. Let's continue our test with Yandex.Mail. Now I'm gonna send email from defcon@yandex.com to defcon@yandex.com. I'm pasting information here. Wait. Yeah, mail has been sent successfully. I will check the inbox, and I refresh the page and check the inbox and spam box again. But no email came. Yandex didn't allow us to control its own domain name. So let's continue test with mail.ru. I'm gonna send email from defcon.mail.ru to defcon@mail.ru. I'm passing information I send. Mail has been sent successfully. I will check the inbox. I'm gonna check back again to make sure. No email came. Mail.ru didn't allow us to control its own domain name such as Yandex. So let's continue test with Hotmail. I'm gonna send email from defcon at hotmail.com to defcon@hotmail.com. Mail has been sent successfully. I'm checking inbox. No mail inbox, but as you can see, it dropped into the spam box. The mail is here. And let's continue test with Yahoo Mail. I'm gonna send email from defcon@yahoo.com to defcon@yahoo.com. Mail has been sent successfully. I'm checking the boxes. Oh, Trump came to as a mail. And no mail came. Yandex didn't allow us to control its own domain name too. Let's continue task with Zoho Mail. I'm gonna send email from DefCon at zohomail.com to defconphp at zohomail.com. Mail has been sent successfully. Let's check the page by refreshing. I'm checking the boxes. No mail came, Zoho didn't allow us to control its own domain name too, so internal tests are over, we can pass to external tests. Time to external tests. I'm gonna use the email addresses ming at wallofsheep.com for external testing. We're gonna send email from ming at wallofsheep.com to other email addresses. Let's start with Gmail. I'm pasting. Mail has been sent successfully. At the same time, the mail dropped into the inbox already. As you can see, we cannot see the warning here as internal tests. When you browse the first mail, you can see the difference, but there's a small detail. There's a question mark in the profile photo. When we move the cursor to this point, we notice that there's a warning again here. It says your mail could not verify that wallofsheep.com actually sent this message. But I don't know which user cares about this. I'm gonna show an example later on this situation. Let's check out hey.com and HubSpot now. As you can see, mail has been forwarded without any warning such as an internal test. The situation looks the same for HubSpot too. There is no warning and mail is cleanly forwarded. I also want to show you what's happening in the Gmail application. I'm gonna show you an older version. There's no warning even in the profile photo in the mobile application. However, until 2 months ago, it was affected by this weakness in the last version. I didn't report them, but they fixed the vulnerability. I don't know how they learned. Maybe my mails may be under review. I don't know. But still, I wanna you to know that the old versions are still vulnerable. Let's continue task with Yandex Mail. I'm gonna send email from ming at wallofsheep.com to defconphp at yandex.com. I will pass the information. Mail has been sent successfully. I will check inbox. As you can see, mail dropped directly into the inbox. Also, there is no warning in the mail content. It's a very dangerous situation. I'm not Ming, but it doesn't matter for Yandex. Therefore, we can say that Yandex is affected by this situation. I'm taking note of this, and let's continue task with mail.ru. I'm gonna send email from ming at wallofsheep.com to defconphp at mail.ru. Mail has been sent successfully. As you can see, the mail has arrived quickly. Just like Yandex mail.ru didn't check if I was Ming or not. Therefore, we can say that Yandex is affected by this situation too. Let's continue task with Hotmail. Now is I'm gonna send email from Ming at wallofship.com to defconphp at hotmail.com. Mail has been sent successfully. Now I will check. And no mail inbox, but as you can see, it dropped into the spam box. Hotmail sent this message to the spam box because it couldn't verify its owner. So I am taking note of this. Let's continue test with Yahoo Mail. I'm gonna send email from Mink at wallowship.com to defconphp at yahoo.com. Mail has been sent successfully. I'm checking the boxes. Oh, Trump again. I think Trump's after me. I will check boxes a few times to be sure. No mail has been received. Yahoo is very strict about this. I take note of this and pass the final external test of Zoho Mail. I'm gonna send an email from Mink at wallership.com to defconphp at zohomail.com. Mail has been sent successfully. I'm checking the boxes. And no mail has been received, so Zoho Mail is very strict about this, such as Yahoo. This was our last test. It's time to analyze the information we collect. As an example of my research, I caught a very interesting example. I wanna present this to you. My friend was accepted by DefCon Red Team Village. This news came to him from Omar at redteamvillage.io. When I review this email, there's a warning in the Gmail profile photo area just like our external test. My friend did not pay attention to this situation and answered this email. Fortunately, the mail really came from Omar, but this could be a fake mail. Now, I'm gonna send an email from Omar at redteamvillage.io to my friend Gmail address. We're gonna also carry out internal and external testing and look at the response of the email application on the Apple Mac device to this vulnerability. Let's send the mails. I'm gonna send these test mails from my second screen. Okay, I sent. As you can see, the mail from DefCon at gmail.com also contains a warning in the Gmail web application. However, in the email application of the Mac operating system, this mail does not contains any warnings. This is a very interesting finding too. In addition, the mail I sent from Amr successfully reached. The application allowed me to pass whether I was Omar or not. Now, time to examine where this vulnerability is caused. Now, I'm gonna show where the vulnerability originated. As I have shown before, we're gonna examine why third-party application cannot detect this little warning in the profile photo area and why are they receiving this training mail cleanly from Gmail. Let's look at what's happening again. Hey.com does not has any warning. Also, HubSpot does not has any warning too, as you can see. Mail that is perceived as a dangerous in Gmail looks completely clean on these platforms. To show that, I'm gonna use Python library writing for the Gmail API. With this library, we're gonna check the email contents by making a request to the Gmail API. First, we need to learn the ID value of the message we want to leave. And I think it should be it. I need to put this ID value into the library properly. We also need to use get instead of list. It is now ready to make request again. As you can see, all the details of the mail are here. After a little examination, we realized that the warning in the Gmail web application is not among the information received with the Gmail API. Therefore, we have proved that the third-party applications such as Hey.com, HubSpot, and Apple email application cannot detect this warning because they use the Gmail API. There are dozens of applications using the Gmail API, so this vulnerability caused by Gmail affects them all. In this case, it leaves millions of people directly in danger. This application, which can connect with Gmail, need to make a new update considering this situation. Once and for all, let's examine the result of our internal and external test again. Let's take a brief look at the result of our test. I'm going to summarize this part quickly. The meaning of the signs are here. In internal tests, training mails drops into the inbox with warning in Gmail and doesn't drop into any box in Yandex and doesn't drop into any box in mail.ru and drops into the spam box in Outlook and doesn't drop into any box in Yahoo and doesn't drop into any box Yahoo Mail too. In external tests, the training mails drops into the inbox without warning in Gmail and drops into inbox without warning in Yandex and drops into the inbox without warning in mail.ru and drops into the spam box in Outlook, doesn't drop into any box in Yahoo, and doesn't drop into any box in Yahoo Mail too. Unfortunately, third-party applications using APIs of famous mail providers cannot reflect the warnings. Naturally, the incoming email is forwarding directly without an error message. So, Hi.com forwarding training mails and mails drop into the inbox without warning. Also, HubSpot taking forwarded training mails and mails drop into the inbox without any warning too. This was the test result with it. I'm sharing an exclusive tool with you at the last stage of my presentation. Its name is Draft Chat. Draft Chat allows person to chat throughout mail providers. You can access the GD chat module, which is the first module and uses the Gmail API. Draft Chat allows persons to chat throughout a single Gmail account in the Gmail that does not record drafts. It encrypts the sent message first with DES and then with the AES algorithm and writes them to the be created draft. The message of person I've written in encrypted form on the same draft. Messages can only be read with the correct case to be determined. In this way, a completely hidden chat room is created with a single Gmail account. Therefore, Draft Chat makes person-handled private communication opportunity by turning your mail server into a chat server. You need to set up a common Gmail account to chat with your partner. Remember, you will only perform this operation once. You will not have to do this configuration every time you chat. Let's do the installation phase in a practical way. First step is turn on the Gmail API. First of all, we need to allow for quick start from our Gmail account because we are using Python quick start. Click on enable the Gmail API button. In this section, you should choose the desktop. In resolving dialog, click download client configuration and save the file credentials.json to your draft chat directory. After running draft chat, it will first ask you for your nickname. Once you have determined your nickname, you must determine whether you want to be a server or a client. Client-server relationship is very simple. If you want to be a server, the DES and AES case that you determine will be used. If you choose to be a client, you have to get keys for these algorithms from your server partner. Let's say you choose the server option. After retirement and 8-digit DESK, DraftChat generates a 16-digit random AESK for you, and a new draft is created for the chat rooms that your client partner is expected. So you need to pass this case over to your partner. Let's take a look at the client option. Necessary key are taken and entered from the server partner. If the keys are wrong, there is no server waiting for the client, the program will give an error. The taking keys were entered and the information was verified, so you can communicate with your partner in a peace of mind. When the draft box of our Gmail account is checked, you can see that a new draft has been created here. All messages sent are written here, and the draft is continuously encrypted with algorithms. We can test this by writing a new message. It's worked great. The fact that you are offered a private chat room does not mean that the communication you provide while using this tool may be illegal. Remember that all the responsibility belongs to you. You can download DraftChat from GitHub. It also open the development. You can contribute to this tool if you wish. Yes guys, now it's over. Thank you so much for listening to me. You can contact me from my social media accounts and you can ask your question whenever you want. I was honored to be here at DefCon 28 Package Hacking Village. I hope to present my research at that best hacking conference in the world next year again. I wish healthy days to everyone. Best regards. Goodbye. I wish healthy days to everyone.
Thank you so much, Akkus, for your talk. Thank you. We hope you can join us again next year. Q&A, myself and Akkus will be on the DefCon Discord. We are in the PHV-Talks-Text channel under Packet Hacking Village, so please join us there. See you there.